After I developed the Jack Daniel's cocktails, I was known in the beverage industry. And then I got an idea in my head, hey, I could do this kind of work on my own. I could start maybe a consulting company, and then I could work for a lot of different companies so that the variety would be vast and that I wouldn't get bored. So once that got in my head, I couldn't get it out. So I talked to my boss, who then talked to the general counsel at Brown-Forman to see if it'd be okay if I did some outside consulting. So in January of 1992, I was approved to do outside consulting for other companies as long as it didn't contain alcohol. Because of course, Brown-Forman didn't want me to compete with them, which made complete sense. So I started the company in January of 92 doing some coffee flavorings and also working on some non-alcoholic cocktail mixes.
And it started in his kitchen at home. And we had a few pieces of equipment on his countertop in his kitchen, working on projects.
Truthfully, I had so much fun doing these products that I knew that I was going to leave Brown-Forman and I was going to, start this full time. And then the next year, in July of 1993, I did. I left Brown-Forman and I started Pro-Liquitech as a full-time gig. I just knew things were going to happen. I knew things were going to be great. So I didn't have any fear. I just went forward and, I wanted more of those Jack Daniel's on the shelf moments, and plenty of them have come through the years. So I had found a condominium. It was residential and really probably illegal to start a company in, but the one thing I thought is if I would lease a commercial site, if the company did fail, I would be stuck with it. It's harder to move commercial property. But if I bought like a residential property to do some development work, I could easily sell it if I didn't need it. My number one at Brown-Forman was Sherry Jocelyn. And so I asked her if she'd like to join me, and she was all in. So after about a month, she came to the condo and worked with me, and so we were a team of two. And it was a team to be reckoned with.
We had desks, we had lawn chairs, and then we took the 2 bedrooms in the condo and turned those into offices.
And we turned the kitchen and the dining room and the living room, which was kind of all one room, into a lab. We put some cabinets and some countertops in there, and we ran it just like a laboratory. And it worked out well because, in that same condo building, everybody would go away to work, at 7 or 7:30, and then we would come in at 8:30 and start working. Well, they were gone, so we didn't interrupt anybody or interfere with anybody. And then we left at 5, and they would come home at 6. Our very first project as Pro-Liquitech was working with Chiquita Brands, the juice people, the banana people. They wanted me to work for them full time, and I had interviewed with them a little bit, and so I went back to them and said, hey, I'm going to go out as a consultant. Would you be interested in any services of consulting? And they said they would.
Chiquita, quite possibly the world's most exotic fruit juices, in your refrigerated section.
And then we worked for a local company. At that time, I'm not sure of the company name. It was a gentleman named Denny Weldon, who we still work for to this day after 30 years. And he wanted to do some special flavors that he could drop into coffee to make like a hazelnut flavor or a mocha coffee or any number of flavors. And so we worked with him to develop some of these coffee flavorings.
And Dave was very cordial. I mean, that was, just like somebody that you've known for years. When I met him, and we had a nice conversation. And he explained to me too that he was very serious about going out on his own. He and I stayed in touch regarding our interest in doing this product until he left Brown-Forman. And then we got together. We were very impressed about what it did, and it did exactly what we were looking for. French vanilla and hazelnut and caramel cream are the biggies. We added flavors. Now we went from, like I said, we were 6 to 8 initially. Now we're up to 16 flavors. Today, we've got customers that they've got to have their hazelnut or French vanilla coffee. My wife and I, we got to know all the workers. There was, only a few, and we were, treated just like family.
Just knowing that Denny Weldon is still around and as a client is, I think, a good measure of the kind of work that we do at Flavorman. So it's nice. It's like a confirmation every day to know that we're doing good work for the same client for all of those years. It says something about us.